Hi, this is Brenda. I'm from Newark TV 78 here at City Hall, and I am currently attending the Newark African Commission, Mayor's African Commission, and the United Way of Essex West Hudson, and ACE, the International Institute of New Jersey, and the Office of Neighborhood Engagement. And we have an information forum today about the African community. So we have a few interviews, and I want you to hear what they have to say and why we're here, and why are we talking about the African community today. So let's see what they have to say about the African community and what this meeting is all about.
Good evening, everyone. Bonjour, mes amis. I'm happy to be here this evening as a partner with the City of Newark and the International Institute of New Jersey. I represent the ACE program, which stands for the African Community Engagement Initiative of our United Way of Essex and West Hudson. And I hope all of you have heard about United Way because it's a worldwide organization, and probably in your home countries we have a United Way. We have an active one in Kenya, we have an active United Way in Nigeria, we have an active one in Ghana, we have an active one in South Africa, and we also have one in Uganda if someone's here. But tonight, this is what United Ways do very well, no matter where they are in the world. We like to institute ourselves to partner with those organizations such as the city, the International Institute, to bring information, as Dosso says, to empower the community. So our job tonight is to make sure that you get some information, and then you also, if you aren't involved with our ACE project, please do. We have a wonderful intern, Peter, why don't you stand up, who comes and helps us, Peter Mawera. And so you can talk to Peter, who will be here throughout. He comes and services our program, and he actually is the editor, so to speak, of the newsletter that you have in the hand. So our job tonight is to have this as a beginning. If you weren't if you weren't knowledgeable of ACE before, please look at our website for United Way. Please read our newsletter. And just as important, we consider ACE only vital when we know what our partner organizations is. A couple of you have already come up to me and say, I'm doing something. A gentleman from Ghana says he's having his own Homowa festival, which normally happens at this time of the year. So this is our job, to make sure that your interests are integrated and associated and partner with us. So we appreciate your presence. Please enjoy the refreshments. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the United Way. The president and CEO is Keith Green, each United Way around the world, and there's about, I think, 3,000 United Ways, if I'm close to those numbers. And Keith Green is the president of the United Way of Essex, which includes this part of Essex County and a very small part of West Hudson, too. He's a leader, he's our chief fundraiser, he's our visionary, and I'm happy to be working with him as a consultant. So right now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Keith Green.
Thanks, Lorna. I'm not going to be long. I just want to thank you all for coming out. Part of what makes this work is that it's about a partnership. At United Way, we operate on the premise that if one of us suffers, all of us suffer. So this is about providing access. This is about providing information. I met Kathy not too long ago, and it seems like in some ways we're almost attached at the hip, because every time I turn around, we're partnering on something. So it's about providing access, about creating partnership, and many of you may or may not know that United Way focuses on income, health, and education. And those are the hallmarks of what makes a good life. So I encourage you to ask lots of questions. Kathy and her team are really prepared to greet you, to answer any questions that you have. And if they don't have an answer, they'll let you know that they don't have an answer, but they'll find a way for you.
Right. All right. Ms. Tansey, the African community, what does it mean here in Newark? What does it mean in New Jersey? What does it mean to you? And what is your role in assisting the African community?
Well, we work with refugees and asylum seekers at the International Institute. And in that role, we help people resettle in Essex, Hudson, Union, Bergen counties, northern counties of New Jersey. So it's very important for us to make sure that everyone in the African community understands how they can be helped, either by us or by their city offices or their county offices, so that they can get the services that they need.
Well, that's a good thing. However, I remember, I guess reading from my history books, that it used to happen many years ago. Different cultures and different groups used to come over, but they had a place to go to. And I find that we don't have that many places now. But of course, obviously, I mean, your organization, tell me a little bit where you're located now, about your organization, because I think it's perfect, you know.
Okay, well, we're on Journal Square in Jersey City, and we help newly arrived immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers resettle in the community. And part of that resettlement process is getting them connected with their Social Security, helping them with some job skills, teaching them job skills, how to write a resume, where to find job contacts, teaching them English, financial literacy, as well as some of them have suffered some trauma, or some of them may have suffered a lot of trauma, and we also have counseling services. We have an immigration law office, and then we do interpreting and translation in 80 different languages.
How long have you been in existence?
We've been in existence for 90 years. We started out as a YMCA, and then we became independently incorporated in 1938. And we've been in Jersey City for more than 90 years, actually. So,
well, thank you. If anyone wants to get in touch with you or contact you, how would they be able to do that? Could you give us a number? Or?
Well, our telephone number is area code 201-653-3888, or you could check our website, which also lists all our services, www.iinj.org.
Okay, and one more question, I'm sorry. What do you hope to accomplish tonight here at the meeting?
Well, we have two things that we'd like to accomplish. The first thing is to present some basic information on the social services that are available to everyone, particularly to newly arrived immigrants. And secondly, to find out what their major needs and concerns are so that we can figure out a way to help them.
What is the role of United Way in West Essex, Hudson? What is your role, actually, with the African community, and how do you assist the African community?
Well, we've started an African community engagement program because we know there's a kind of a divide with the African population and the things that they are trying to do and learn about the community. So our role is to start that so that we can engage them around access to various services in the community, connection with various power brokers in the community, and then philanthropy.
And what is your experience so far about with the Africans and their needs with the community? What do you find the most needed in the community, that's the most needed in the community?
Well, it's still an exploration, but one of the things that we have found that there is an issue around domestic violence, and I think part of it is cultural coming here, and then women becoming more independent, because as you know, the women in America are very independent, and so if they're used to being subservient and then they're acculturated to be like Americans, it creates an issue. And then some other things is you're just in a foreign country and some things are just not working out. So I'm not an expert on domestic violence, but those are some of the things that I'm hearing. The other thing is employment. Like in Africa, some of the folks that come here, there are kings and queens, and they come here and they're cab drivers, and then there's some that are physicians and dentists and doctors, instructors, professors. So it's sort of like when any population comes to America to acculturate, they run into a variety of different issues.
All right, well, if anyone wanted to get in touch with you, can you give me some sort of a contact or? No?
Well, they could call the United Way office at 973-854-2221, or they can go on the website at United Way of Essex and West Hudson, and everything that'll connect them to ACE, which is African Community Initiative, or it'll connect them to other services that we are about. As you know, United Way focuses on income, health, and education, so these issues are important to everybody.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I hope you can accomplish a lot tonight.
I hope so too. But it's all about partnership. It's your partnership with the city, the commission, with the Institute of New Jersey. It's all about partnerships.
What does this mean to you exactly? What does it mean for the African community? I mean, we have some people here that are going to discuss the needs of the African community. And what do you think you can get out of this tonight?
I just hope that Africans turn out massively tonight, and it's very important that our community, the African community, pretty much lag behind most of the community in terms of information session. We don't have enough information in the many things that goes on in the community, especially the immigration officers. We train them to come here, tell us a little bit what we need to do. Some of our members in our community really are lacking some of the basic information you need. Even our women, pretty much the one that now they 100% educated. So we really trying to find a way how to get in touch with them, bring out of the shadow, so we can address the need and the issues. So tonight is very important because we're going to be touching on immigration paperwork, how to be legal in this country, and some of the social services and counseling. And so we don't really have, as you know, an institution here besides the African Commission, we're so young, to really be a catalyst to diffuse the information to our people. And then that's where we are. So we partner with other organizations who've been doing the job to come to serve us as a transition, how we help our community reach this basic information, because information is power, and you don't have it, you really lag behind. So I think it's a very important night, and then we're really looking for a lot of support. And the truth is, our community really are not being helped because they feel like they're not part of the process, and because we really don't have that. Just like I say, the information center. Like Casa Don Pedro, for example, where people can go and have a job training and basic information. So we don't have that. So,
all right, tell me a little bit about the Mayor's African Commission. I mean, I know you've been busy. What have you done so far? What do you hope to do with the Mayor Booker's commission?
Basically, I would just want to say very thank you to Mayor Booker for having this initiative. As you know, in the United States of America, we are really major, as I know of, maybe 2 African commission, and our commission is a very active commission among other commissions. So we've been working very hard. In the last couple of years, we did an African diaspora picnic, which was a way of letting us know and bringing people together from different creative African descent. And it was very successful. And then from then, we turned on to have a bridging the gap between African and African American and people of African descent. So we have the Essex County College, who are African Institute. It was successful. So we've been working very hard, and what we've been doing, which is very good, is to make African proud. Because as you know, the City Hall was not access to many Africans. Some people really didn't even think City Hall is a part of them. So now we come in here, bringing our people and exploring the African culture. One of the best important thing we're doing right now is the hour to revalorize the African culture. Because if we are able to really reinstate our traditional identity here in the United States, in Newark, I think it will be a great thing. Make Africans proud of themselves and bring Africans into the process. Even this year, I mean, Africans have been in the process in many ways. Community development, African. We even have the first African, female as a district leader in the Central Ward. So we're moving along, and the Mayor's African Commission is good so far, but we have a lot to do, because how do you change the mentality or bring all these folks together in just 2 years or 4 years? But it's a work in progress. We're making a lot of progress, and we need more help, because we don't have pretty much like our office space, for example, where people can just come and get all the information we need. We don't have that yet. So we still need help moving along, but I'm proud of it, and we're working extremely hard. And then we have a website, in NewarkAfricanCommission.org, where we have a lot of events, and this year, as you know, we were pretty much helpful in bringing Benin to United States for the first time. So we had a 60th city between the mayor of Abome Calavi and the mayor Koro Booker signing agreement of a partnership and friendship. This is great. And next year, actually, this summer, we're having the African Diaspora Festival, 2nd annual, where we're trying to bring a culture here in Newark from African motherland, and then our community activists, and then all the community members, drummers from Haiti, and Afro-Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican. So we're really trying to tie the knot about our people. And then bridging the gap in September, we're trying to bring the business people, venture capitalists and investors together to share. Partners from Africa to here, mayors and the president got to be coming in September. So I'm excited about it because it's something new, and we want to take it to.
We're here tonight, first of all, and why is it so important to have this discussion about the African community here in Newark? And being that you are the chair for our cultural committee, what does this mean to you? And I think this is a great evening, great idea tonight. You tell me, what do you think about tonight and why we are having this forum?
Oh, well, it's a very important day tonight. And to me, it's very important that we all come here today because we have so many Africans here, and this is an informational forum for Africans living in Newark. So basically, there's Africans here that need immigration or questions answered. They need social services. They need other services that's happening in Newark. That African community are basically outside of everything. We don't know anything, and information is power. If you have information, you have everything. So that's why it's important that Africans show up here, African Americans show up here, because we are all the same. So that we can ask some of the basic questions, how to open a business, for example, you know, how to get loan, you know, those issues. Some people got immigration problems, they don't know how to solve it, they don't know how to find lawyers, free lawyers and all this. So that's why the African Commission is collaborating with ACE International and Institute of New Jersey and Office of Neighborhood Engagement, Margarita Muniz, so that we can come here and get some information. And the other question was,
Oh no.
being the chair of the cultural committee,
what does that mean?
what makes that so significant?
Yeah.
Culture is very important, and as you see, most of the crimes happening in the community, people forming gangs, killing people, shooting people, this all happening because there's a lack of culture. So we feel like the African culture is a culture where it takes the village to raise the child, and everybody is everybody's family. So if we can bring culture here, I think that's going to eliminate some of the problems that we have with the city, as far as people don't know what to do, they joining gangs and all this thing. It's the lack of culture. So when you bring culture, you don't need all that police.
I think that's very important as well. What problems do you find mostly do the Africans encounter when they come to the city? What is it? What are they in need of mostly?
The number one thing that most people come here is for jobs, money, financial situation, and also in order for you to get a better job, you got to have a good education. So most people are in need of good education, but the problem that most of them face is that they don't come here with legal status, and for them to get that good job, they have to be legally established. So how do you get legal here? You got to go through some process. You need information. Where can you go? Who can help you? How to get a lawyer? And you know how lawyers are expensive. So sometimes they're free lawyers, pro bono lawyers, but we don't have that information. So that's why today's event is very important, since people are going to be here asking questions about some of those things. So that's why it's so important to be here today.
What does this evening mean tonight, this meeting, especially about the African community, and what's the need? What are the needs?
Okay, right now the African community needs so many things, such as the social use, the health, and also the immigration issue, especially. You know, late people are here, we got the women, we got the kids, and you know we have to get together, we have to organize this to make sure we touch all the basic needs of the communities.
Yeah, the Newark is a very big city, and the African immigrant community is part of this city. And the African immigrant community has a lot of problems. You know, when people move in here from Africa, they face a lot of problems. And some of these problems are highlighted here today by the International Institute of New Jersey. So we are very happy that this institute has devoted the time and the resources to educate our people on the immigration problems, the social services they can offer, ranging from even refugees to permanent status, you know, in terms of eligibility and non-eligibility, who should be a citizen, who should have permanent residency, and who should enjoy whatever services that are available. So we are happy as commissioners that the Newark African Commission is partnering with the International Institute of New Jersey and the United Way to organize this type of forum where, after today, we are taking it back to our individual communities, our smaller communities, our churches, and our organizations, to making sure that everybody benefits from this program today.
And if you have any information that you want to give the African community, or you need information, please call 973-733-4666. 4311, and we can give you information on Mayor Cory Booker's African Commission and how you can reach the individuals and partners here tonight. Thank you. I'm Brenda Jones, TV 78 Newark.